In this video, we'll discuss how to use a generative AI tool like ChatGPT to create a lesson plan. ChatGPT uses natural language processing to create human-like responses to prompts submitted by the user. The goal of this tutorial is for instructors to be able to use the ChatGPT website to create a lesson plan on a relevant learning standard for their course. The lesson plan should be 100% factually accurate, contain a classroom activity for student engagement with the material, and have a corresponding formative assessment to test students' understanding of the topic.
First, we'll get started by creating an account with ChatGPT. Go to https://chat.openai.com/auth/login. Click on the Sign Up button and create an account or continue with the options below. You're now ready to use the free version of ChatGPT. If you would like to use the newest version, ChatGPT 4, you will need to upgrade to Plus. For the purposes of this tutorial, the free version will be sufficient. Take a moment to pause the video now to set up your account.
Welcome back. Before we start generating responses, let's quickly talk about prompt engineering. The best responses from ChatGPT are created by inputting strong prompts. At this time, creating a strong prompt is so important that there is a growing demand to hire prompt engineers. Strong prompts elicit the best responses from generative AI by following these principles. The prompt should provide clear context and instructions and should ask for precise results. Additionally, ChatGPT responds well when given an identity to roleplay.
Now that we've talked about prompt engineering, let's jump right in and see how ChatGPT works by submitting a prompt about the ethical considerations that should be considered when using a generative AI tool like ChatGPT. Notice that my prompt includes clarity, context, and precision, and it gives ChatGPT an identity to roleplay. First, I want to stress that it's important to consider these issues when using ChatGPT. You must thoroughly vet the information provided by ChatGPT because it can make up information such as citations. Additionally, because ChatGPT is based on a large language model, it has the same potential to exhibit any bias that was input to the language model. Finally, you must be transparent about your use of ChatGPT and responsible with the information you input into the system. For example, you should avoid putting any sensitive or copyrighted information into ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a time-saving tool, but you are the subject matter expert and the person ultimately responsible for the information shared.
Let's take a moment to assess what you've learned so far. What are some important considerations to keep in mind when using generative AI? Check all that apply. Did you mark all the answers as correct? They are all correct.
Now that we have discussed the ethical issues surrounding generative AI, let's try generating a lesson plan. Let's see what we get with the prompt, write a lesson plan on the effects of energy deficiencies in malabsorption disorders. This is an okay start, but we can refine the response by using a more targeted prompt. Now let's try a new prompt. You are teaching the AP Anatomy and Physiology course to high school students. Please make a 50-minute lesson plan to teach the following learning standard to students. Analyze the effects of energy deficiencies and malabsorption disorders as they relate to body systems such as Crohn's disease and cystic fibrosis. If you review the lesson plan, you'll notice some subtle differences. If you want to use the same prompt but see more options, click on the Regenerate button. Take a moment to pause the video now to generate a lesson plan on a learning standard of your own choosing. Welcome back! How did it go? Were you able to generate a factually accurate and instructionally sound lesson plan on your own topic? Let's push ChatGPT a little further now and ask it to generate a classroom activity to accompany the lesson plan. If your generated lesson plan already includes a classroom activity, such as having students discuss case studies, you can ask ChatGPT to now create the case studies for the lesson. Let's take a look at some prompts I can use with my example. For example, generate a classroom activity for teaching this learning standard. Now I can ask ChatGPT to create a case study for the activity. For example, I can write a case study related to Crohn's disease or cystic fibrosis for this activity. These case studies should include information on the patient's symptoms, medical history, and nutritional challenges. Remember that you can regenerate the response if you would like to see more options. Take a moment to pause the video now to generate a classroom activity for the lesson plan you generated. Welcome back! How did it go? Were you able to generate a factually accurate and instructionally sound classroom activity for your own lesson? The last thing we will cover in today's video is how to generate a formative assessment for the lesson. Let's take a look at some of the prompts I can use with my example. That prompt was pretty vague. Let's try something more specific. This time, I'll use the following prompt. Generate a formative assessment for teaching this learning standard. The assessment should be a multiple choice question. Multiple choice questions should include plausible, competitive, alternate responses and should not include an all of the above option. At the end of the assessment, you will provide an answer key and explain the right answer. Remember that you can regenerate the response if you would like to see more options. Take a moment to pause the video now to generate a formative assessment for the lesson plan you generated.
Welcome back. How did it go? Were you able to generate a factually accurate and instructionally sound formative assessment for your own lesson? If you've enjoyed experimenting with generative AI, I highly recommend reading the white papers published by Drs. Ethan and Lilith Molick at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Their work inspired the creation of this video and offers a variety of additional prompts related to effective teaching strategies. In this module, you learned how to use ChatGPT to help you create a lesson plan on a relevant learning standard for your course. The lesson should be 100% factually accurate, contain a classroom activity for student engagement with material, and have a corresponding formative assessment to test students' understanding of the topic. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, Michelle Kiba Connect, the Senior Medical Librarian for the FAU Schmidt College of Medicine. I'm happy to meet with you.